All right, hi you guys. So I'm here to talk to you guys quickly about my personal reason for living on one paycheck per month. For me, it's um there's a couple of things, right? No lifestyle creep can happen, right? You figure prior to me starting my full-time job back in November, previously to that, I was working part-time for at a part-time job for almost a year. And prior to that, almost like I took like 2 months off, 2.5 months off of having no income at all. And then prior to that, I had like 7 months of working part-time at Kohl's and part-time at Amazon. So you figure I've been low income. I was low income for almost 2 years, okay? And I feel like we did really good. We did really, really well. And, with me having my last part time job, I was bringing home roughly around 1,300 per month, okay? Sometimes a little bit more. Um, but it worked. It worked. 1,300, it worked. Now, obviously, now since I've been off of that job, okay, your girl has cut some bills down. I paid off my son's car, so that's $246 back in the budget. And because we have a little bit of extra money, I paid off the insurance up front for 6 months, okay? And prior to that, I think our bill for insurance was like 130 something. So you figure what, 130 plus what, say 250. That's 380 back in the budget, okay? Now, I personally knew that I keep my finances low or my bills low for a reason. You just never know what's gonna happen. I'm a single mom. I'm a widow, so I don't have like even like a significant other or my son's father to help me out or help us out if something were to happen or to take care of his son. It's just me, okay? And for me, it's very important to be able to live without having the extra stress, okay? And knowing that I deal with my mental health as well, it was very important for me to just, I like to keep things simple. And the lower my bills, the less I feel like I have to work a full-time job. Um, and the less I feel that pressure to work and to perform. Now, of course, I'm a performer. I perform top notch, I feel like, right? At my jobs. Any job I ever have, I'm going to give my all, okay? That's just me, but at the same time, like when you go into work and knowing that you don't have to work, that's a different feeling. You know what I mean? Whereas when you have bills to pay, you are like, I have to work. I have no choice but to work. That's a different mindset for me, y'all. That's a different mindset for me. Because at the end of the day, my mentality, this is for me. My mentality is like this. I'm like, wow, Candace, well, if you don't feel well, if you guys don't know, I had quit a good paying job out of the blue. I mean, it was working up to it, but like out of the blue, I logged in and I'm like, I will not do this anymore. I can't do this anymore because of my mental health, okay? And to walk away, I felt okay because I had 32,000 saved up, which I have journeyed on my channel. And at that same time, just a couple weeks prior, I just bought my son's car. Like, Candace, what are you doing? You're financing a car, you're quitting a job. And it was just a hot mess. But I felt okay. I still had Amazon, I still had Kohl's. And I stuck with those ones. Eventually, I ended up quitting Kohl's. I'm just like, yeah, $10 an hour ain't cutting it. this is after months, right? And then Amazon, I ended up letting go. I was, not signing up for hours, and that's all documented. I just didn't have that drive. Like, I really needed to just let it be. And my whole thing is now, as I'm getting older, my son's getting older. He's 16, about to be 17 in July. He's going to be graduating in June. And I'm like, it's time to focus on me. And it's so important. Like, as I keep my expenses low, it allows me to be like, hey, Candace, if you don't feel comfortable with this job or how life is going, it's okay to step back. Now, I will say this. I will say this. This job I have now is wonderful. It's not perfect. It is wonderful. Um, but, but, I will be smart this time around, okay, and not just call it quits. Even if my mental health takes a toll on me, I'm gonna fight. These jobs have, you know, programs. They have, you get short-term disability, long-term disability. Now, you guys know I'm not afraid to hop on those things. I'm not afraid to hop on FMLA. I'm not afraid to sign up for a medical accommodation. I did that with my previous job, but it was at the point, like, going through those motions, like, it just kept constantly going on and on. And sometimes, as I mentioned, I was there for 9 years. I think I just needed that step back away from everything, and to focus on myself and start something new. And I've been in a good space ever since. Don't get me wrong. Did I feel like it was the best decision for me to up and quit? It was impulsive. I cried. I'm like, man, Candace, you're not even rehireable because you didn't give a 2-week notice. I logged in and I was just like, I'm done. I'm done, And, but all that to say, y'all, and I'm sorry, these are my thoughts, right? And like, eventually it's down to just me, right? It's down to me. Yes, I still have my son, but, like, with him being older, it's wonderful. Like, I try to teach him, I show him, like, keeping my bills low. When I was working at these jobs, I had a savings, and I budget. That's very important. But the other thing is keeping my bills down, knowing what extras I have, like, my variable expenses. There are things I can cut back. I know what I don't have to do. Like, I don't have to do an allowance. I don't have to do, my own personal allowance. I don't have to do, food out. I don't have to do extra money in the gas category. Savings challenges. All of those things are things I can cut out. The primary bills I keep at a minimum, and I'm very happy about that. And so with that being said, I'm able to live off one paycheck per month because my paychecks will vary. I am paid semi-monthly at my current job. So, like, in the month of sorry, my last paycheck in February, because February is a shorter month, my smallest paycheck was, hold on, I used that for March. It was $1,243. Now, this is after my 401k. This is after all of my deductions. This is take home. This is my net pay. And yes, $1,243. But I knew I could do it. There were things I did cut out, All of my regular bills were paid. But in regards to my variable expenses, we cut out, what did we cut out? We didn't buy anything for the dogs because the dogs still have food. We cut out house items because we had everything we needed. We cut out maintenance because my son doesn't get haircuts often. So we cut that out. We didn't do savings in the month of March either. Savings challenge. I did give myself an allowance of $55. So that $55 was it was my allowance money, but also if we needed something for the house, I didn't mind spending that. If the girls wanted some treats, I used that. But all that to say, you guys, even with it being on lower, if my first paycheck of the month is lower, I'm able to adjust my variable expenses. Okay, I am not splurging. I'm not like, okay, I want a tablet. Now I could buy myself this tablet, but at the same time it's just like, what is it for? You know what I mean? What am I really wanting it for? I think it's more of an emotional purchase that I want to make. April is a rough month for me. That's the month that my husband passed, and I just think it's just like an emotional thing. Because I'm like, you just got two new phones. Like, what do you keep needing stuff for, Candace? So me living off one paycheck per month allows me, even being an emotional person, I love food, right? Sometimes I don't want to cook. Sometimes I rather, purchase something out. Which we've really cut that back a lot. Like in the month of March, we didn't eat out once. In the month of February, ate out like twice. James ate out like twice. I probably had got something once with my own money. That was for the month of February. And it's just like, I love food, and right now I'm trying to focus on myself and like eat better. Now I will say this, keeping my budget low, my bills low, also rose into me sharing with you guys that I did have EBT, right? And EBT, those emergency allotments have ended in the month of March it was. March it ended. I still have a little bit over $500 left. Now I ain't gonna front, I still buy chips, stuff like that. But I buy BOGO and sale stuff. I hardly ever pay full price for anything. So for me not to have, the last time I and my son got food stamps, that ended in November. November was my last month of earning those. So let's see, December, January, February, March. It's been 4 months and we still have over $500 still left in EBT. Okay, so that just goes to show, like, just because you get something, it doesn't mean splurge. It means be mindful. You just never know what's gonna happen. Like, I could have been that person that, like, oh yeah, this is free. It's gonna keep coming. Ooh, keep coming for free. And my neck has been killing me. I slept the wrong way, you guys. But no, I didn't do that. It's not because I'm afraid that things will stop, but you just never know when that extra help will end. You never know when your job was going to be gone. Look at everybody. There's a lot of people getting laid off, a lot of businesses closing shop. So what happens to those workers? There was a Dollar Tree, you hear me? And very, like, on the bus line here, and they closed shop. You know why? Because the rent for the building, or that parcel, was just too much. They were just like, no. No. So, like, what happens to those workers? They were like, well, we could either get transferred over to a different Dollar Tree, or find another job. And can you just imagine, like, these people are not making a lot of money. You know what I mean? So some people are, in the tech industry, they're good paying money. Now they're down to nothing. Now they got to find new jobs, And then you have people that work at other places, like, as I mentioned, Dollar Tree. They don't make a lot. I was working at Kohl's making, $10 an hour. That's probably up to $12 an hour now. But, like, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, nothing in life is guaranteed. So I understand that YOLO, or fear of missing out, it's just like you got to think ahead, right? And I'm not saying be fearful, have this full anxiety. That's not what I'm saying, but it's just being smart, because if something were to happen, I'd rather not be stressed out over how am I gonna pay for the next month? How am I gonna pay for food? How am I gonna pay for rent? Rent and food is the most important for me. And even right now, I have like I'm trying to get my 1 month rent fully funded. I'm at like 760 something, I think, or $770. I want to get up to the $900 mark for that, which I can do that probably with this paycheck. After my second amount of bills clear and I know what those amounts will be. But it's just that peace of mind. And as I mentioned, it's just like, for me, it's like I'm grateful to have this job, and I'm going to do my best to appreciate what I have, because I left this good paying job. I left a good paying job before, and I was been given the opportunity to have a job that's very much equivalent, if not better, okay, than that previous job I was at for 9 years. Um, but it's just like, I it gives me that peace of mind. Like, I'm not going to work because I have to work. I'm going to work because I love the job. I love helping people. I am not in that position where I'm like, Candace, you have to work. You have to do this. I don't care. I can walk away at a moment's time and feel okay to survive for a couple months. Okay. And that's just that mindset for me. It gives me that peace, because once again, I do deal with mental issues, and it gives me that peace of mind. I deal with anxiety, and having this type of mindset really helps me out a lot. Living on one paycheck per month allows me to not have that lifestyle creep and be like, oh, you know what, we can do this. Oh, let me go ahead and buy this. Mind you, I have shared with you guys, if I want something, I will get it. I'm not frugal to the point where I'm just like cut myself off from everything I want. No, I work hard. I understand we work hard. We want things. And I allow myself to enjoy life, but also stay in a budget. We can go so overboard. There's people in my life, they make more than me, but they're struggling, and I'm just like, it's all about a mindset, and it's a lot. But this is my reason for living off one paycheck per month. The other amount I can save up. My next goal is to pay down like my $10,500 worth of school loans, which we will talk about that. I don't know if I may start that in April or the month of May. I think I may start that in May. But yeah, y'all, there's nothing wrong with keeping your life simple. If you want something, it's okay. Still give yourself what you want, but just do it. Excuse me. Just do it. Be mindful of what you're doing. And there's a balance. There's a balance. But for me, my point of doing this is like, I don't want that lifestyle creep. That's so important for me. Very, very important for me. And keeping my bills down just gives me that sense of kind of security that, hey, if my bills are only 1,000, my main bills, okay, are only less than 1,000 per month. Less than my main bills. This is not going into gas, food out, maintenance, the dogs. This is like my actual bills, less than 1,000 per month. I know no matter what job I get, if it's at least $15 an hour, your girl can make that, without any issues. Without any issues. And that's a wonderful feeling for me. That's such a wonderful feeling for me, you guys. So yeah, let me know. How are you guys doing? How are your finances? Is there something that you want to accomplish? This one paycheck per month, it is boring for me. I've mentioned this plenty of times. It is boring for me, but it also allows me to, stay on track, put the other money aside, act like it's not even there, living on less, you guys. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, bye.